Martin Luther King stood before thousands and said, "We cannot walk alone, and as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back," unquote. By this, we, the mighty minority, say to the majority that we will march with the people. We march with the Constitution. We march with those whose voices have been silenced. We march with the 1.3 million young people who deserve better than this government has given them. And we will not turn back. As we close this meeting, let us close with resolve. And a warning to those who test the people's patience. The people are watching. The Constitution is waiting. And the youth are restless. And for all who believe that in Ghana it is the Constitution, not the whims of those in power, that shall have that last word. Mr. Speaker, as we bring this meeting and session to a close, let me express gratitude to colleagues in leadership on both sides of the House, especially our whips. They work tirelessly to get members into the chamber. What will life be without our whips? And to our backbenchers, the new ones who are learning the rules, we have seen promise in you. We have seen your talent at display. Keep to it. Don't give up. And I say to those of you who have already warmed up, and for those of you who are warming up, please, your days are ahead. Don't give up. Whether we have agreed or disagreed, debated or collaborated, I say to you, thank you for your service to the people of Ghana. This chamber works because we show up, we speak up, and we hold each other accountable. Mr. Speaker, to the staff of Parliament, the clerks, the security personnel, the administrators, the support staff who work behind the scenes, we say thank you. Your professionalism keeps this house functioning. Your dedication often goes unnoticed, but it does not go unappreciated. To the clerk himself, Mr. Ebenezer Ahoma Jetro, you've taken all the bullets from our side and from this side. It is okay to say you have held this chamber together. God bless you and your team for your effort. To the members of the press, the reporters, the cameramen, the editors, thank you for keeping the public informed. A free press is the lifeblood of democracy. Your work ensures that what happens in this chamber reaches every corner of Ghana and beyond. Not the least to our Speaker and his two deputies. Mr. Speaker, from our hearts, we say thank you. We have seen the transformation in Parliament. We may disagree on many issues, but what we know is that you are providing leadership for this House. We will continue to use every legitimate means to challenge your ruling, and in doing so, we mean no disrespect. It is democracy in action. Mr. Speaker, to the two deputies, particularly the First Deputy Speaker. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, we know this is your first time of being a First Deputy Speaker. We have often given you hard times, but bear with us. This is democracy in action. Be patient, be tolerant, accommodate us, have a big belly to contain us. We know sometimes we test your patience, but again I say to you, democracy in action. To the Second Deputy Speaker, there are times that though we are of the same stock, we have disagreed. But again, I say to you, we have tested your patience. We've tested your tenacity. We've tested your resilience. But again, we are your own. Don't give up on us. Democracy in action. Mr. Speaker, to the good people of Ghana, we the minority say to you, thank you for your patience, your vigilance, and your faith in this democratic experiment we call the Fourth Republic. Mr. Speaker, as we prepare to adjourn, the season of Christmas is upon us. To all honorable members, please spend time with the family. We've worked hard enough. Let's use the period to check our health. When we leave this ordinary abode, the Constitution requires that there must be a replacement. Life will go on without you. Please spend time to check on your health. Don't be so scared to know your medical condition. It is better to know to treat it than to live in that fear of not knowing, then it will get worse. Please check on your health. Mr. Speaker, whilst I wish my colleagues a Merry Christmas, let me say that let the season bring you peace in your very homes, joy to your hearts, and hope for the year ahead. Amen. May we return in the new year with a renewed energy, amen, clearer purpose, amen, and deeper commitment, amen, to serving the people who sent us here, and hoping that the Honorable First Deputy Speaker will resist the temptation of hauling the minority leader before a so-called privileges committee. The minority leader will insist on his rights, on serving his full term as a third deputy speaker at ECOWAS Parliament. Therefore, it is our prayer that the first deputy speaker and his committee will resist all temptations, are being pushed to do that which is never done in any democracy. The minority leader has not disrespected any order of this House. Indeed, the ECOWAS Parliament rejected outrightly the resolution that sought to remove the minority leader from his seat as an ECOWAS MP. The minority's leader's seat at ECOWAS Parliament is not one of those that can be removed. You can remove the Chief Justice. You can remove others who are political appointees, but not his bona fide right as a member of ECOWAS Parliament and a third deputy speaker. He shall remain until April 2028, when his tenure shall have come to an end. Mr. Speaker, thank you so much indeed.
Members, it's now the turn of the majority leader to give his closing remark.
Mr. Speaker, I am most grateful for the opportunity to deliver my closing remarks as the House adjourns sine die for the Christmas holidays and its associated festivities. Mr. Speaker, as representatives of the people, it is time for us to return to our constituents and the good people of this country as the Christmas approaches, as the New Year festivities begin, and as the year ends. Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, I would like to commend all of us, and let me join the minority leader to commend all those who have helped us to have a successful meeting of the House. Mr. Speaker, before I delve into the details of my closing remarks, let me just briefly address some issues that the minority leader has raised. Mr. Speaker, our standing orders have made provision, and our Constitution has made provision for this House to be able to act expeditiously when it so desires. And that is why we have provisions that allow us to bring business under a certificate of urgency. I believe that the certificate of urgency is an instrument that is available to us. It enables us to act with dispatch as a House. I don't believe that the tool of certificate of urgency has been abused by anybody in this House. And this is not the first time that we are utilizing the tool of certificate of urgency to pass legislation. And the use of a certificate of urgency is not meant to gag or prevent the minority from participating in criticizing or critiquing and pointing out difficulties or problems with any policy proposal. Even when we bring anything under a certificate of urgency, we still create room for people who have, issues to raise those issues. And so sometimes when it is presented to the public as if any time that we are passing anything through a certificate of urgency, then there's something that is being hidden, that's not really fair and also misrepresents how this House functions. Mr. Speaker, I'm not aware that there's any attempt to gag the minority by use of investigative agencies. Mr. Speaker, I've been in this House for close to 2 decades. I've been in this House as an opposition member. I've been in this House as a minister. I've been in this House back again as an opposition member, and I've been in this House now, and I'm serving as the majority leader. In and out of power and in and out of the chamber. Mr. Speaker, I can assure you that those of us who are in this House, who get to serve as ministers, who get to serve on boards, as board chairpersons, as board members, which is an executive department, we should watch our activities carefully as ministers and as board members, because there's always a day when we will be called upon to come and answer for our conduct, either as ministers, as board members, or as board chairpersons. Mr. Speaker, when we leave office in the executive capacity and we still remain in this House, and the law enforcement agencies are calling upon us to come and account, we should not treat that as an attempt to gag anybody. Because when we're accepting those appointments, nobody forced us to accept those appointments. It is only fair that when you accept to serve in an executive position, when the day of reckoning arrives, you should be ready to go and answer for your deeds or misdeeds. If they are misdeeds, you'll be held accountable. If they are good deeds, you will be able to exonerate yourself in court. Mr. Speaker, not too long ago, the minority leader on this House, when we were in opposition, and that is Honorable KCL Atuforsen, who is now the Minister for Finance. Mr. Speaker, and acting as Minister for Defense, I was in this chamber when every morning he had to go to court, answer in court, and then come here and lead the minority. He never complained one single day. He answered, defended himself, and finally got exonerated, and the matter was disposed of. So no one is above the law. Everybody will be held accountable, and when it is your turn to be held accountable, do not misrepresent to the public that there is any orchestration to oppress the minority, to gag the minority, to intimidate the minority, and to prevent the minority from doing their work. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of anti-corruption agencies, indeed, the issue is not that we want to gag anti-corruption agencies. It is because we are frustrated by the failure of anti-corruption agencies to hold public officers accountable for their deeds. That was what activated us to call for the scrapping of some anti-corruption agency, because we felt they had failed woefully in terms of the expectations of Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, a few weeks ago, I went to play tennis, and just by the tennis court, a young man was weeding the lawn. And when the ball fell outside the court and I went to pick it, he greeted me and said, "Leader, why are all those thieves that stole this country's money still walking around in our streets? Why are all those thieves who stole this country's money, and you saw it, still walking in the streets and having the effrontery to be saying the things that they are saying?" And I was stunned that, a cleaner in a hotel will confront me so frontally. And he looked me in the face and told me that, "Leader, we voted you people so that you will fight corruption. We want you to fight corruption." Mr. Speaker, if we don't hold each other accountable and fight corruption, there is no greater threat to democracy than failing to fight corruption. Those of you who know the history of this country, go and check the records. Anytime that a democracy has been overthrown, the first reason that the military dictatorship gives is that there was massive corruption and they were not fighting corruption. So fighting corruption is the surest way to sustain and preserve our democracy, in addition to delivering on social and economic goods. So we will continue to fight corruption. And if fighting corruption is what you misinterpret as attempting to intimidate the minority, so be it. Mr. Speaker, as for the issue about the Israeli retaliatory measures, I can assure you that this country will stand by its citizens. If a citizen gets mistreated by a foreign country, we will retaliate. We will retaliate. And so if Israel has mistreated a Ghanaian, Ghana will retaliate. And that is what has happened. And I can assure you that following our retaliatory measure, the situation has changed, and Israel is now treating our citizens with the kind of respect that they deserve when we get to their airports. Mr. Speaker, I have tried very hard to stay away from the discussions about the question of whether or not President John Dramani Mahama will be seeking a third-term mandate. Mr. Speaker, President John Dramani Mahama indicated in Singapore his view on the matter. President John Dramani Mahama indicated in Singapore his view on the matter. Why the opposition every single day will be discussing the issue of a third term in Ghana, I don't understand. Mr. Speaker, I know that due to the very, very excellent performance so far of John Dramani Mahama, Ghanaians are asking him to seek a third term. I know that. I know that because I read on social media, I listen to conversations, and Ghanaians believe that as a result of the good deeds of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, they don't want him to leave the presidency.
They believe a third term is possible.
And they believe that a third term is possible. And they are demanding for a third term. But John Dramani Mahama has not given any indication that he wants to go for a third term. But I have always said that Ghanaians will be the ultimate deciders of the future of this country. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, why do I say that? Please pay attention. Why do I say that? Next doors in the Côte d'Ivoire, the opposition leaders came to me when I was in the ECOWAS Parliament and complained that the president there wanted to go for a third term. And they were calling on us in West Africa to support them, to oppose and prevent the president from going for a third term. So I asked them, the president who is seeking for a third term, is he going to put a ballot box in front of the citizens and ask them to vote for him to go for the third term, or is going to wake up early morning and announce that he is continuing for a third term? And they said there will be an election to determine whether or not he should go for the third term. And I said, go and fight him at that election. Go and fight him at that election. Go and fight him at that election. Mr. Speaker, that is why I say that ultimately, it will be the Constitution, the institutions, and the citizens of Ghana who will determine the future of our country. Mr. Speaker, your guidance and leadership have ensured that our legislative process, though often cumbersome, were conducted within the bounds of parliamentary decorum and democratic responsibility. Why are you afraid of a third term? Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? Mr. Speaker, even without a third term, look at how we have reduced your numbers. Mr. Speaker, your guidance and leadership have ensured that our legislative process, though often cumbersome, were conducted within the bounds of parliamentary decorum and democratic responsibility. Although the House encountered a low momentum during the debate on the budget statement for 2026, following the ruling of the Tamale High Court that called for the rerun of the Pandai parliamentary election, the House was able to restore order through your seamless leadership. The subsequent decision of the Supreme Court to halt the rerun, which was ordered by the Tamale High Court, reaffirms the strength of our constitutional order, the independence of the judiciary, and the rule of law. As legislators, we must continue to support reforms that strengthen electoral integrity and deepen public confidence in our democracy. I will also take the opportunity to commend the Honorable Minority Leader and colleagues in leadership for their cooperation and collaboration in ensuring that government business was conducted diligently. To the Clerk to Parliament and the staff of the Parliamentary Service, I say thank you for always being there to provide the needed technical support and assistance in the discharge of our mandate. Mr. Speaker, this third meeting, which commenced on the 21st of October 2025, comes to close today, 19th December 2025. The House had 35 sittings within a 9-week period. During this meeting, the House considered the 2026 budget statement and financial policy of government, which is one of the most important businesses that we conducted during this meeting. In pursuance of our financial oversight mandate, the House took the budget statement through rigorous debates and scrutiny, leading to the adoption of the estimates for the various ministries in record time. The timely adoption of the estimates from the various ministries saw the appropriation bill passed. The successful passage of the 2026 budget statement and financial policy of government stands as a testament to Parliament's constitutional duty to scrutinize, debate, and approve policies aimed at stabilizing the economy, promoting growth, and safeguarding the welfare of the Ghanaian people. The budget reflects difficult but necessary choices shaped by prevailing domestic and global economic realities and guided by our collective resolve to place Ghana on a sustainable path of recovery and development. Mr. Speaker, aside the 2026 budget statement and financial policy of government, the House passed a number of legislations and undertook various businesses during this meeting. One remarkable legislation that was passed by this House in fulfillment of the campaign promises of the great National Democratic Congress Party was the COVID Health Recovery Levy Repeal Act 2025, which was subsequently assented to by His Excellency the President on 10th December 2025. This is a testament to the responsible and prudent governance that we promise the good people of this noble country. These actions underscored Parliament's responsiveness to public concerns, economic pressures on households and businesses, and the need to recalibrate our fiscal framework in line with current socio-economic conditions. While revenue mobilization remains critical, this House has demonstrated that taxation must always be balanced with equity, fairness, and the capacity of citizens to endure. Our other legislations include Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Bill, which we considered and passed, the COVID-19 Health Recovery Levy Bill, which we passed, the Value Added Tax Bill, which we passed, Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill, which we passed, the Ghana Education Trust Fund Amendment Bill, which we passed, the 24-Hour Economy Authority Bill, which came and is at consideration at committee, Governance Advisory Council Bill, which came but is at committee stage, Instances Succession Bill, which is also at committee stage, Legal Education Reform Bill, which is at committee stage, Petroleum Revenue Management Amendment, which we passed, Bank of Ghana Amendment Bill, which I believe we passed, Road Traffic Amendment Bill, which we passed, Ghana Sports Fund Bill, which we have passed. Mr. Speaker, we have passed so many pieces of legislation. Now, we know that our promise to the Okada riders that we will legalize Okada riding has been approved by this House, and it has been passed and is now law. And if the necessary administrative mechanisms are put in place, Okada is now legalized. The sports fund bill has also been passed, and when put in place, we have put a mechanism that will enable the raising and mobilization of resources and funds for the development of sports across all sectors. Mr. Speaker, the debates and discussions during this meeting have been without contention. However, disagreement is not a weakness of Parliament, rather it is the lifeblood of representative democracy. I commend members on both sides of the House for their commitment, resilience, and willingness to engage constructively in the national interest, even where we disagree. Mr. Speaker, let me repeat that this country is on the right path. The economy is doing well. Our finances are doing well. Our finance minister is doing well. Our president is doing well. We have suddenly become the envy of all nations around here. Ghanaians are now very proud of their country and very proud of their government. And wherever a Ghanaian is, every other person that I have met have said, we are following the developments in your country, and your country is doing well. This is neither a moment for complacency nor for self-congratulation alone. Rather, it is a moment for sober reflection, acknowledgement of collective effort, and renewed commitment to our national development agenda. We inherited an economy burdened by deep-rooted structural weaknesses, reckless fiscal management, corruption, and a severe erosion of both public and investor confidence. Through decisive leadership, prudent governance, and partnership with Parliament and stakeholders, this administration has reversed the decline, stabilized the economy, restored credibility at home and abroad, and firmly placed Ghana on the path of recovery and sustainable growth. Right, Honourable Speaker, the turnaround of our economy has been confirmed by Ghana's sovereign credit rating upgrade from CCC Plus to B- by Standards & Poor's, and affirmed by the International Monetary Fund in its fifth review of Ghana's 39 months extended credit facility agreement concluded in December 2025. I quote, Mr. Speaker, the IMF said, macroeconomic stabilization is gaining momentum with strong growth and single-digit inflation for the first time since 2021. The fiscal and external positions have improved and good progress has been made on debt restructuring. These gains reflect the authority's strong program ownership, favorable external development, and improved investor confidence, unquote. This is what the World Bank, the IMF, is saying about Ghana. The successes we celebrate today are also a testament to the unwavering commitment of Parliament. Through your resilience, diligence, and constructive engagement, we have transformed policies into tangible progress, ensure that every initiative contributes meaningfully to national development, and strengthen the foundation of our democracy. Mr. Speaker, the key achievements of this House has been to support the government to ensure macroeconomic stability. Inflation, which was as high as 54%, is now at 6.3%. There is improved national currency performance. The Ghana cedi is stronger against the US dollar now than it has been for many years. We have improved public debt management. Mr. Speaker, the debt, which was 722 billion Ghana cedis, has been reduced to 685 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, we have improved lending environment. As we speak, banks are lending at far, far lower lending rates than they were lending. Mr. Speaker, we have improved and strengthened the economic indicators, GDP growth, international reserves, import cover, sectoral performance have all shown significant improvement, demonstrating the resilience and effectiveness of our economic strategy. These achievements reflect a clear trajectory towards sustainable growth, macroeconomic stability, and financial resilience. Right, Honourable Speaker, I now wish to highlight some of the key promises made by President John Dramani Mahama to Ghanaians upon assuming office and the progress achieved in fulfilling them. Scrapping COVID e-levy, we scrapped e-levy. COVID levy, we scrapped it. 10% levied on winnings, scrapped. Emissions levy, scrapped. Import duty on vehicles and equipment for industrial agricultural purposes, scrapped. Big push policy for strategic infrastructure development launched. So much money, billions of cedis given. Social interventions, no academic fees, policy for first years tertiary institutions, no fee stress implemented, free tertiary education for persons with disability implemented, Ghana Medical Cares Trust, Mahama Cares, free sanitary pads, all implemented, 24-hour economy working, Women's Development Bank, allocations made for this establishment, National Apprenticeship Program, all happening, digital initiatives, 1 million coders program, ongoing, Agriculture Economic Transformation Agenda, Feed Ghana program, all of it ongoing, establishment of Gold Board, very successful. It has helped to stabilize the city, strengthen the city against the dollar. In conclusion, Right Honourable Speaker, as we approach the Christmas break, let us take pride in these collective achievements led by President John Dramani Mahama and celebrate the resilience and unity of Ghanaians. These milestones are not mere statistics. They are the product of dedication, shared responsibility, and collective action. The future is bright, the path is clear, and together we will continue to build a Ghana of sustainable growth, prosperity, and dignity for all. Mr. Speaker, at this very important juncture, in this chamber, Boku Central and the issues in Boku were mentioned. I have kept quiet and I did not say anything, and I said that, and I acted that way for very good reason. The conflict in Boku, which is about chieftaincy and who is the rightful chief of the place, was a matter that came up as far back as 2021. It resulted in a lot of violence. Many people died, and President Akufo-Addo referred the matter to His Royal Majesty, the Otumfuo, to deal with. Because the Otumfuo was dealing with the matter, I decided never to comment on that matter, because commenting on it would have undermined the authority, the dignity, and the majesty of the Otumfuo. So in spite of all the provocation and the things that were said in this chamber, I kept quiet and said nothing about it. I now want to report to you that His Royal Majesty, the Otumfuo, presented his report to His Excellency, the President. He concluded that the rightful chief of Boku and the Kusasi traditional area is the Zuguran Asigri Abogrago Azoka II. And he made further recommendations that we hope, if implemented, will bring peace, will bring law and order, and will ensure security of lives and property in the Boku area. Mr. Speaker, I stayed away from the constituency for very good reasons. I stayed away for very good reasons. I stayed away for very good reasons. And I can assure you that we are all trying very hard to deal with a very, very delicate matter. Many of you in this chamber, you don't understand. But I have tried very hard to maintain my calm, my cool, in the face of extreme provocation. But I want to assure you that no matter what you say and no matter what you do, I, Mahama Ayerga, will never be provoked. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, order. Honorable members, can we listen to the concluding remark of the Speaker in silence? Honorable members, this is the remark of Right Honorable Aban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, at the end of the third meeting of the first session of the 9th Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. I will therefore present same in a representative capacity. Honourable members, as the book of Ecclesiastes reminds us, there is a time for everything. A time to commence and a time to close. A time for sitting and a time to rise. A time for debates and a time for recess. Today, the time has come for us to bring sitting of the third meeting of the first session of the 9th Parliament to an end, and to rise to adjourn sine die to a recess to focus on other responsibilities and duties of MPs as we reflect on our deliberations and accomplishments over the past weeks. We once again express our collective gratitude to the Almighty God for bestowing on us the wisdom, strength, tolerance, and spirit of cooperation that guided our deliberations. Honourable members, despite a few challenges, this House successfully transacted significant legislative, oversight, and representational business during the meeting, reflecting our shared commitment to democratic governance, good order, and national development. Over the 35 years, over 35 sitting of the meeting, the House recomposed its standing and select committees, approved the President's nomination of Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni as Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, considered 14 bills and passed 7, examined and brought into force several legislative instruments, received and debated ministerial and members' statements, answered over 100 questions, approved petroleum and contract agreement, tax and visa waivers, headquarters agreement, and international conventions. Approved the 2026 disbursement formula for key statutory funds, and referred several reports and policy papers to appropriate committees. Honorable members, one of the key highlights of the meeting was the presentation of the budget statement and economic policy of the government for the 2026 financial year to Parliament on Thursday, 13th November 2025 by the Honorable Minister responsible for Finance. Subsequently, I led the leadership of the House in collaboration with the Parliamentary Training Institute to organize a post-budget workshop for honorable members and selected staff of parliamentary service to deepen understanding of the policies, assumptions, and rationale underpinning of the budget. I commend leadership, honorable members, the Clerk to Parliament, and Parliamentary Training Institute for their respective roles in ensuring the success of the workshop. Honorable members, beyond the core business of the House, Parliament continued to engage actively in the international parliamentary fora to strengthen parliamentary diplomacy. During the meeting, Parliament successfully hosted the 9th Biennial General Meeting of the African Parliamentary Network Against Corruption, APNAC, during which I had the honor to be elected President of APNAC. I was further elected President of African Geopolitical Group of the Interparliamentary Union, IPU, as well as appointed a member of the IPU task force to mediate the Russia-Ukraine war. These recognitions affirm the confidence and trust reposed in Ghana's parliamentary democracy by the international community, a reputation we must continue to uphold and protect zealously. Honourable members, capacity building and mentorship initiatives featured prominently during the meeting. The legislative management service area of the parliamentary service organized the Maiden Practice and Procedure Week, aimed at highlighting parliamentary practice and procedure as the driving force of parliamentary business and deepening the understanding of members and staff. In addition, I initiated the Maiden Time with the Speaker series to engage first-time members of Parliament in a less formal setting to promote mentorship, dialogue, and shared understanding outside the rigid procedural environment of the chamber. Feedback from this engagement was very positive, and it is my hope that similar engagements will in due course be extended to other members. Honorable members, whilst we rightly celebrate the many successes achieved during this meeting, we must also reflect soberly on the unfortunate and chaotic scene witnessed during the debate on issues relating to the Pandai parliamentary seat. Although protests, walkouts, and uproars have become permissible features of parliamentary practice, they nevertheless need not threaten the orderly and dignified conduct of parliamentary business. This is why I roundly condemn the chaotic conduct of some honorable members that day. Parliament draws part of its legitimacy and relevance from polarity and divergence of views. Therefore, we must all endeavor to engage in decorous debate in a dispassionate manner, devoid of conduct that has the potential to undermine the image and dignity of the House. Let me assure you, the people of Ghana, that Parliament will continue to discharge its mandate with patriotic fervor and unwavering commitment to the national interest and the welfare of the citizenry. Before I conclude, I wish to place on record my profound appreciation to Honorable First and Second Deputy Speakers for their steadfast support and dedication to the work of the House. Honorable members will agree with me that my two deputies have both acquitted themselves rightly and honorably, deserving of the high respect and adoration accorded them by the Ghanaian people. I am equally grateful to leadership of the House, particularly the honorable majority and minority leaders, for their cooperation, maturity, and commitment to parliamentary business. I further commend the clerk to Parliament, management, and all officers of parliamentary service for their continued professionalism, diligence, and unwavering dedication to the work of the House, which has been instrumental to the effective functioning of Parliament. I also recognize and appreciate the Parliamentary Press Corps and our media partners for their significant roles in promoting the work of Parliament enhancing transparency, and keeping the Ghanaian public informed of the proceedings and decisions of the August House. Finally, as we rise for Christmas recess, I extend my warmest wishes to honorable members, management and staff of parliamentary service, and all Ghanaians. Here is my humble prayer for honorable members. May we, as representative of the people, be awakened to our God-given duty to exert justice, defend the rights of the poor and the needy, and give Ghana the progress that it desperately needs. May Christ strengthen honorable members with integrity and character to act righteously and not out of selfish ambition. May He protect honorable members and Ghanaians from all evils, all evil powers that prowl around the world seeking to destroy mankind during this festive season. May the good Lord grant honorable members abundant wisdom to know His directives for leaders, namely to labor for the good of creation and the welfare of those Ghanaians who daily prayer is to get bread, even if without butter. During this hallowed season, may God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. I wish all honorable members and staff a Merry Christmas and a prosperous and happy New Year. Honorable members, it is now my pleasure and privilege to adjourn the House sine die. Accordingly, the House is adjourned sine die. I thank you for your attention.
3 phrases that kill your first impression. Literally, it's amazing. To be honest, I used to speak like that too. I had strong ideas, but they came out wrapped in fluff. Hesitations, filler words, generic phrases, and the worst part, people stopped listening halfway through. That changed when I started treating communication like a skill, not just a talent. And that's where the Charisma Challenge came in. No lectures, no fluff, just short, punchy lessons on the stuff school never taught us. Clear speech, persuasion, emotional intelligence. If you want people to listen, really listen, you've got to cut the weak words, train your tone, and make every sentence count. It takes 5 minutes a day. Try it. Speak like you mean it.
Thank you. Thank you. Kindly be seated. Thank you. Thank you, Nana Sassi. Let me ask you a question, not as president, but as a student of history. Have you ever wondered why the story of Ghana never included the story of the diaspora? When telling the story of Ghana, many are inclined to begin in 1821 with the formation of the British-ruled Gold Coast colony. But that's inaccurate, because the collective story of our people, the many ethnic groups that populate this country, Ghana, predates the existence of any colony on this African continent. Similarly, when speaking of the transatlantic slave trade, specifically the atrocities that took place on this soil, many are inclined to end our story on the shores of this nation, where our ancestors, and I do mean that word literally because they were our blood and bone that were forced onto ships and transported across the Atlantic. But why do these events that follow cease to be part of Ghana's story also? Between the 16th and 19th centuries, nearly 13 million African men, women, and children were captured and transported on ships through the Middle Passage. Over 2 million of them